You get what I'm saying? Because this is some BS. I've looked at I've looked at this case thoroughly. I've looked at the evidence that the Romanian authorities have, and they don't.
No, you haven't. You don't have access to all their evidence. Why would you say that, Byron?
Have anything. They really don't.
You've handled these cases back in your past as well. Yeah. So
I used to investigate human trafficking. This is not human trafficking, guys, whatsoever. Doesn't even come close.
You know what else? You know what else is funny is that there are a lot of people who purport themselves.
Oh, this guy, the Dodger, the guy that talks shit to me all the time and meat watches me and won't talk to me like little coward he is.
To be, I don't want to say legal experts, but just like you said, like we're all friends of Andrew Tate. Of course, we're going to defend him. But on the other side, people are, and guys like Destiny, broadening the definition of human trafficking, right? And it's incredible.
What do you think you like? I bring you to another country. I lie to you about wanting to marry you. I work you as a sex worker. I take some of your money, and you work with 70 other girls in a country where you don't speak like. If that's not sex trafficking, boss, what the f is? What do you think is sex trafficking, bro?
Well, it's like, oh, well, they didn't speak the language that it's human trafficking. No, man. What it really comes down to is everybody that's coming after Andrew Tate and guys like you guys, these are enemies of masculinity. And I think we need
cock. I wonder if this guy knows, like, do you think if I were to ask him, what does Andrew Tate's cum taste like? Do you think he would give me like a super detailed answer? Or do you think he just kind of like, you know, oh, pancake batter? Like he would just kind of like go over it? Do you think he'd get real into it? Like, oh, well, the consistency, it depends. Like, am I sucking him off when he wakes up first thing in the morning, like the good little bitch boy I am? Or do I wait at night for him to build up a nice big load for like, well, I wonder what his answer would be. I wonder how detailed it would be as he sits there slurping and guzzling down load after load after load from this guy. These guys are so disgusting, dude.
to start calling them that. Enemies of masculinity. That's what this is. And I agree with you 100%. This is 1000% a political hit job. And it's funny, even those on the other side, they realize that this is what's happening, but they pretend that it's something else. Hashtag Greta Thunberg or whatever the case may be, like she dunked on Andrew. Dude, that and those people.
Very good point. But you know why? Because they don't like him.
That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it.
They're turning a blind eye because they don't like him.
Yeah. If you don't like Andrew Tate, then he is guilty. That's ridiculous. That's stupid.
Yeah. And guys, so I'll hit some of these chats real quick, and then from this point forward, we're going to go 50 and up just so that we make sure that with the show is nice and concise. We can cover, because we got a lot to cover. I got some videos that we're going to play, etc. Real fast, John, did you have anything you want to add before I read these chats?
Sulfuric acid.
No. I mean, I honestly just think that what they're doing to Andrew is just. I don't care if it was Andrew. I don't care if it was fucking Ethan Klein. It's unjust.
Oh my God.
There's no
they did
justice.
This Ethan Klein, I'd be defending his fat ass too, honestly.
You know?
I mean, right.
Yeah.
It's
wrongfully accused of.
There's no due process, and
there is, dude. He's literally in court right now. What do you mean there's no due process? What is happening right now? He's arrested. They're finalizing their evidence. They're gonna take him to court. They're gonna do a trial. I guess it's judges. Maybe you don't like Romania's due process, but it's a little bit hard to complain about the legal system of another country when you moved there specifically for that country's legal system. You understand you kind of lost the right to bitch and moan and cry about that when that was specifically one of the called out reasons why you moved there?
It just stinks of corruption. And I just think, honestly, it's just, I mean, the way he got banned off social media was not justice. He didn't break any TOS.
No.
And they uniformly got together and banned him.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
This is a gross miscarriage of justice. It's incredible. It's unbelievable.
And it's just, the thing is, like, people at home, like, you know, frothing at the mouth, wanting something to happen to him. Like, if we don't stand up and take a stand against stuff like this, like, we're letting them set a precedent to do this.
Thank you.
To anybody.
Yep. Yeah.
To anybody.
And
this is just not okay. Like, I'm not saying Andrew is 1000% innocent. I'm not saying Andrew's 1000% guilty. What I personally believe, I do believe he's innocent. That's my personal opinion. We're gonna let the court and everything come out with the facts, but this whole situation is scary to see. It's like, first he got banned off of all social media with no concrete cause, and now he's been put into jail with these charges. Like, the organized crime is because of him, Tristan, and their two assistants. That's the organized crime. Yeah. And the girls have already been released, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Well, one girl got released, and I got a video of it, actually. We'll play it to attend the funeral. Yeah. But yeah, the whole organized crime thing is strange as well, because they're not able to really differentiate the hierarchy. They're not able to really identify.
How do you know that? How do you know they're not able to differentiate the hierarchy? Like, I'm so curious what his proof is on this. Does he have like some inside line on like?
Oh no! Oh fuck! How is this broken?
Yes, the Fed source. Yeah, true. This is supposed to split it evenly. Oof. I'll just hope this doesn't get broken again.
People's roles in the organization, etc., which is lawyer talked about this as well.
Right.
But this thing just stinks of inconsistencies and issues, and there's quite a bit of pressure from the U.S. Embassy to take this thing over. And we're gonna play a video as well from the two accusers. So can I say that way? Air quotes. The two accusers that went ahead and said, "Oh, these guys me." So I'll read these chats real fast.
Okay, I could be wrong. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I can never rely on you guys for that. I need to go. There is a video out with two. If these are two girls that came out and said they later like retracted their allegations, but there's no proof that those two women are the same women that were actually accusing, that the Romanian prosecutors are relying on. Like, these are just two random women that say they said something and now they're not saying something. I don't think there's any proof, at least I haven't seen anything proof yet, that these are the ones that the Romanian authorities are actually referring to. If they're about to bring up what I'm familiar with.
The bottom line is there's a lot of shitty people out there that just like want to watch the world burn, and they'll go along with this witch hunt just for the sake of it. And you know, then this could happen to somebody else. This could happen to fucking, you know, Antonio Brown. This can happen to fucking Tom Brady. It could happen.
It almost did.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I just think this whole liberally using the word I got sexually assaulted. Again, I'm not taking away from the women who have had this happen to you, because it's happened to women.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, there is a lot of social manipulation going on with these women. Because they're regretting a situation, or they didn't like the way a guy made them feel.
After the fact.
There you go.
After the fact.
But you don't have any evidence of that. Everything you're saying is an okay hypothesis. It could be true, but you have no evidence of any of this. You're just speculating. Destiny is all about institutional barriers and how culture and biases affect hiring, but acts like journalist work isn't affected by the workplace culture LeMayo. CEO does not necessarily equal workplace culture. It's possible that the CEO could influence you. You guys don't have any concept of like proving a point, because none of you have ever. I don't know what you guys do. I don't know if you've never went to school. You've never like watched a TV show. You've like, this is what you guys do. Okay, this is what you do. Somebody died in this place, and then you read a log that says, "Oh, John was at that place yesterday. He murdered him 100%." These are the leaps that you're making in your mind. You guys don't need evidence for anything. It's one of my most irritating points. For progressives do it too, but conservatives are just the same. You guys run purely off of emotions. You have no rationality whatsoever in you. You're not interested in figuring out what happened ever. You just want to emotionally connect dots that make you feel good about yourself. That's all you do, right? You can say a CEO of a company could influence the workplace. That's possible, for sure, but that needs to be proven. You're alleging something that needs a single piece of evidence, right? It could be a journalist tweeting, "We wanted to run this story, and management said we couldn't." It could be articles before Bezos acquired the Washington Post. They tweeted, or they made a bunch of articles that were critical of Amazon, and afterwards they made none, right? It could be somebody being interviewed by a Washington Post journalist says, "Hey, they asked me a bunch of stuff." There's a million pieces of evidence that could prove any of this, but you have nothing. All you have is, "Oh, he's a CEO, must be rigged." You don't have any evidence for that. Get out of your feelings and use your fucking brain and try to figure out one piece of evidence to prove any of your stories. One of the worst things, one of the reasons why I just want to play Factorio, and I don't like doing any. So boss don't control their employee Destiny site, permaban. See you later. The CEO is not the boss that walks around the floor, you dipshit. You ever work a job at Burger King? When was the last time you saw the CEO? Nah, you bugging if you don't think the CEO doesn't influence the company. All right, see you later. I'll unban any of you guys if you bring me back a single piece of evidence, okay? Like, learn how to, this is why I think prop logic, I think a philosophy 101 class should be mandatory teaching in high school. And I think everybody should be forced to learn prop logic. Just like a really basic, like, if A, then B, then C. Like, just like that. Like, learn the little, like, the itty bitty, a couple of logical statements and how they connect. I think everybody should be required to do that, because the amount of conjecture and jumps that you guys make is so stupid. And then it's boring for me because I'm like, I don't even get to have real debates. I've told you this a million times. When I got into politics 6 or 7 years ago, I thought I was gonna have cool debates. I don't ever have cool conversations. That one with the music theory lady yesterday was probably the best conversation I had in like 2 years, because all of you conservative are brain. Like, how the am I supposed to argue with you and your feelings about the Matrix, or the Red Pill, or the World Economic Forum, or Klaus Schwab, or mRNA vaccines in the water supply? Like, you have no proof for anything. None of it is fun for me. It's all fan fiction, right? You guys are actively writing fan fiction about the government with no proof, no evidence, except occasionally you'll produce the shitty study, the horrible preprint that gets debunked like 2 days later, and then you pretend like it never existed. Like, it's so boring to me. If you have evidence for something, let's talk about the evidence. That's the entertaining part. That's the part that's interesting. It's like intellectually stimulating. Not like, oh, some girls lie about so this one must die because Vice didn't show all the text messages. All human beings, by virtue of being human beings, have been granted a priori, before you've ever thought a single thought, okay? You have the capability for logical deduction. You can understand it. Every human being has that programmed into their brain. Use it, okay? Otherwise, all my vegan arguments don't make any sense, okay? Because all of my arguments rest on the idea that the human mind is unique and independent from every other animal in the kingdom, right? But you're acting like a ape when you say stupid shit like this.
I appreciate that, Destiny.
All right, bye.
Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.